Good morning, guys. Last week to Valencia Marathon. In last years, one of the fastest and important marathon race in Europe and in the world. I have the pleasure to present an incredible elite field with Marc Roig, international elite field manager of Valencia Marathon. Marc, good morning and thank you for being here. So, Marc, last week to Valencia Marathon. So I think you will be very busy. Repeat, Marc.
Yes, I am very busy at the moment.
Marc.
But there is always.
Marc,
I think that the internet is disturbing a lot. Okay.
Yes, no worry.
Go ahead.
No worry. Our public will understand. No problem. Okay. Remember to the public, at the moment you are in Kenya, so people will understand the go and come of the internet connection. So, Marc, let's go immediately to the argument. First of all, one important serious things about the devastating flooding last weeks in Valencia. So the race will go on. And what will be done from the race, what is done and what will be done from Valencia Marathon about the flooding and about everything in this very sad situation.
Were devastating. Of course, it has affected the normal life of so many people. And yes, even the dilemma arose when what should the Valencia Marathon do? Of course, there are opinions for every alternative. We believed that celebrating the marathon was a good opportunity to boost the coming back to normal life as good and as fast as possible. And that way, the marathon is actually supporting financially some of the areas that have been destroyed. There are very many actions to do. So the marathon itself will give like €3 per finisher to the devastated areas. Part of the sponsors of the marathon are also contributing of like how to say it, like BIP number 0, so that people can donate also. I mean, there are very many actions that are going along, and even the organization is helping those participants who are from the towns that were more affected. One of the actions, for example, that the organization is doing is putting free transport, free transfers, so with buses from those towns to the marathon. So a way of making it a little bit easier and possible for those who didn't even have means of transport at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much, Marc. Okay, let's speak about the race. Let's start with the men. In men race, Sisai Lemma 2:01:48, course record in 2023. Sisai Lemma is back. So you the first question about the men race. You will go to attach course record with the men. Then we will introduce the elite field.
Exactly. I think that having the defending champion, who is also the course record holder, plus a very deep field of talented athletes, it's the minimum that we are requesting ourselves. We need to try to break the course record for the men's category in Valencia.
Okay, I read the list and I appreciate very much Kenenisa is back. Kenenisa Bekele, the legendary champion of our sport, is back another time in competition. And I expect something, if he is in shape, I expect something excellent from him. So, true to your sources, can you tell us about his shapes and his goal for the race?
That's a very good question, Alberto. So everybody knows that, Kenenisa is always quite. It's not common for him to share much information about his shape, but it's also true that his last year has been quite successful. It started, maybe I would say, like the Canelisa version 2.0 started last year in Valencia. The year was over. He came to Valencia. He ran a very intelligent race to finish in position 4th, and then that boosted his confidence and also his name to be then number 2 in London and secure the team for the Olympics. Unfortunately, the Olympics didn't go as he planned. But so I think that he's still a contender, so someone to watch out. And for sure, his name in Valencia is very, very attractive.
Okay, thank you. Speaking about Ethiopian, Sisailema, Biranulegesse, Guyadola, Deresa Geleta, all athletes under 204. What expectation in your during building the race in your mind? What expectation from this athlete? Which race you'll attend? You'll expect from these guys?
All these names are of very strong athletes, some of them with even much more experience than others. Birhanu Legese, that you mentioned, has won Tokyo Marathon 2 times already. He was one of the first ones to go under 2 hours and 3 minutes when running in Berlin. So he has lots of experience. Then we have Geleta, who is, I would say, maybe a more newcomer, although he has some good results in the past. But when he won Seville this year, and everybody knows the story that he arrived just the day before the race. He had some problems with the flights, so he arrived in Seville on Saturday. Then on Sunday he won with 2:03. That is impressive. So all of them, with the same with Guyadola, so lots of experience. He really wanted an earlier marathon this season. He didn't manage to get in shape early on, and then so used Valencia as the place where he's coming much more prepared. So it's hard to say who of them will be the best, but for sure all of them are capable of being in the leading group. And as we have said already, so the leading group is attacking the course record. So yes, I'm expecting all of them to be there. Let us see what happens after 30 or 35 kilometers.
Marc, there is one of the important news about this year Valencia Marathon is the debutants. So you have 3 excellent debutants that we are all waiting about them. So Hilary Kipkeus, Daniel Mateiko, and most of all, one of my preferred runners, Sebastian Sauer. So what's your opinion? What expectation and so on about the 3 debutants? Because in my opinion, the debutants could be the great surprise of the year.
I think so, and actually I think that Valencia is becoming one of these races that, like, the signature of Valencia is that debutants are someone to watch out very, very closely. So 2 years ago, we had the debut of Kelvin Kiptum, and it really surprised everyone. Last year, among the debutants, there was Joshua Cheptegei. Of course, the result was not according to his expectations, but still made good noise. And it was really very interesting to see what Joshua would do in the marathon. It could happen again the same, but we love, and I would say that, yes, on my case, I really love that some of the best half marathoners in the world decide to debut in Valencia. I think that they find in our race a perfect scenario, extremely tough. That's true, and I also appreciate that that they are not hiding into second level races, but they like that despite being a very competitive field, we treat them very well as debutants. And usually one of the things that it's happening, it happened also with Mutiso some time back also, is that some of the debutants, in the case of Hilary Kipkeus. So yes, as you mentioned, those 3, everybody, I like each one of them for particular reasons. Of course, Sawe has an amazing curriculum, and his last result in Copenhagen was showing that he is very, very ready. Hillary has the experience of pacing not only Valencia but also London. And then Matejko is a guy who has been in the half marathon of Valencia, record holder for more half marathons in 58 minutes. He has run 7 times 58 minutes. But yes, on the books is not officially a debutant, because he has already tried and not succeeded yet in the marathon. But let's hope that Valencia will be his time for succeeding.
Mark, a technical question. You have already received some requests about possible splits at the half from the athletes, the coaches, the agents. Can you tell us something about men marathon?
Yes, this is something that as we approach the race, we start like nailing down more or less the split that we want. But the final decision really takes place the 2-3 days before the marathon, once we are almost sure about the forecast and things like those. So roughly, we will try to repeat what we did last year. And yes, I mean, this is how.
Mark, your surprise, if you have to choose, let's change. If you want to choose your 3 surprise from men's marathon, which name you say pay attention to him? The connection.
That's a very difficult question, and you know that in Valencia we are rarely choosing right in terms of like who the winner will be. We had an amazing elite field organized. We had 4 men at the press conference 2 days before the race, but the winner, Sisai Lema, was not there. So and yeah, I could not even have guessed that. And I think that this year it could also happen the same. That it's really it's hard to say one surprise. Yeah, it's too open. It's too difficult.
We will see. Okay, Mark, let's speak about women. Yesterday, last news say Amane Berizzo is out of competition, unfortunately. What happened to Amane? Why withdraw from the race?
Yes, that was a very sad situation. I had a call by her manager just 2 days ago, saying that in the last long run she experienced some pain and so went for further medical checkup, and it would be something just like small, more like the nerves towards the competition, but no, unfortunately it was something much more serious, and they had to cancel. It was extremely sad because we were so happy to have both defending course record holders in Valencia, and especially the Amane Berizzo's shape was coming to an amazing status where she could also challenge her own course record. So that just sad news. This is how things that happen in our sport. Luckily we still have some very many good ladies to try to run very fast.
Okay, let's speak about them. Megertu Alemo, Iwot Gebridan, Stella Chesang, Mesfin, Sarah Hall. Which race could you expect now? Which kind of race we are going to watch next Sunday?
Good. Okay, as the list is on the papers, it's true that Alemo Megertu is probably a little bit faster than the rest and could even challenge to go closer to the course record. It's something that it really depends a little bit on her, while the rest, so they could probably split into and for breaking 220 pace. So that is more or less how we are experiencing the race for the ladies.
Okay, Marc, that's all for me. I could have many questions, but we speak another time. I would like to ask you, one question more. Building a race as an international race elite manager.
Okay.
Like this, how many times request in your life? How before the race? So when you start to create this Valencia marathon, is a work that few months, many months from after the day after last edition.
Exactly. So honestly, it's the whole year round, because once you target athletes who can attack world records, course records. I mean, when you are really targeting, you need to plan way ahead. So it's very common that beginning of the year, like let's say by January, I'm starting to make some contact. I mean, not closing deals, but to start interacting with the leads representatives of the very big names, to say like, hey, how are you planning? So let's talk about the future. How are you planning about 2025? What is if he or she is thinking to go to the World Championships 2025, for example, it will probably, the World Championships will disturb a little bit the fall marathons, because being in September in Tokyo, probably there is no time to then prepare any other marathon. So that will be one of the challenges. But yeah, so it's a whole year round. I starting from spring, second trimester, I start including more and more people, and usually by summer the field is closed.
Marc, thank you very much. And how do you say in Spanish? Mucha suerte for next Sunday.
Thank you very much, Alberto.